We're going to begin, though, with that escalating tension in Los Angeles after protesters against federal immigration raids clashed with law enforcement over the weekend, setting vehicles on fire. California National Guard troops were moved in at the order of President Trump. This is the first time since 1965 that a president has ordered troops in over the objections of the governor. He did it on his own authority. California Governor Newsom condemned the action as inflammatory, called on the administration to rescind it, said they were manufacturing a crisis.
And our chief White House correspondent, Mary Bruce, is standing by with the latest on the administration's response to the protests. But first, our chief national correspondent, Matt Gutman, is on the scene in L.A. And Matt, you and your team, you were with the protesters all day yesterday. Good morning.
Yeah. We saw so much of that unfold, Michael, and this is what the civic area in downtown Los Angeles looks like. These are the skeletons of Waymo self-driving electric vehicles. You can see there's a series of about 5 of them here just beyond. That's what the rest of this downtown area in L.A. looks like. A maze of police checkpoints. Just over my right shoulder, that's the 101 freeway. It was blocked on both sides by hundreds of protesters, and those clashes just ending a short time ago early this morning. Overnight, chaos erupting in the streets of Los Angeles as protesters and police clashed. Tensions escalating Sunday as thousands of protesters took to the streets in response to President Donald Trump's extraordinary deployment of the California National Guard. Governor Gavin Newsom saying it was assistance he didn't ask for.
We're here to support local law enforcement, the sheriff's office, LAPD, but they didn't need that support. He made this up. This is a manufactured crisis.
Multiple vehicles set on fire, covered in graffiti condemning ICE. An electric scooter thrown from an overpass, damaging a highway patrol vehicle, which was then set on fire. Many hundreds descending on the 101 freeway, blocking traffic in both directions. CHP, California Highway Patrol, deployed smoke. They're moving in, trying to push these protesters out. You can see some projectiles detaining someone there. The LAPD mobilizing resources and LA's mayor pleading for calm.
Our city does not need to be torn apart.
Earlier Sunday, demonstrators swarming LA's federal building, hundreds of LAPD officers responding. And in the ensuing clashes, the LAPD says multiple officers were injured when 2 people on motorcycles tried to crash through that police line. We were right there as it happened. Just moments ago, there's some projectiles being thrown. Just moments ago, a motorcycle seemed to try to break through the police skirmish line. And now you can hear all those flashbangs going off. Police are trying to push those protesters back, firing those less than lethals at very close range. And you can see those projectiles being thrown over. Now that motorcyclist being hauled in here, looks like he's being arrested. Police deploying flashbangs. The streets littered with debris and broken glass. At this point, more than 25 demonstrators arrested after failing to disperse. The escalation began Friday when federal immigration authorities began a series of sweeps in greater Los Angeles, arresting more than 100 people. The demonstration's now entering day 4. Hundreds of National Guard troops were deployed on the streets of LA over the weekend. President Trump bypassing California's governor, ordering up to 2,000 guardsmen to deploy across Southern California. On Saturday in Paramount, just south of Los Angeles, thick black smoke filling the sky after cars were set on fire. The anger coming after reports of an immigration raid on the community, but Paramount Mayor Peggy Lemon saying there was not a raid. The agents were there staging. And in a rare scene Saturday afternoon, a Black Hawk helicopter landing in the parking lot of a Homeland Security office, agents unloading supplies for federal law enforcement. California Governor Gavin Newsom calling on the Trump administration to revoke the order to deploy the California National Guard, saying it only makes matters worse. A memo signed by all the Democratic governors says the activation of guardsmen in their own borders without consulting or working with the state's governor is ineffective and dangerous. But President Trump now saying even active duty Marines could be deployed as 500 remain on standby.
What is the bar for sending Marines to
the bar is what I think it is. I mean, if we see danger to our country and to our citizens, we'll be very, very strong in terms of law and order.
So how rare is it for a president to bypass the governor and deploy National Guards in that governor's state? Well, it hasn't been invoked since 1965. That's over 60 years. And Newsom saying that he did speak to President Trump on Friday night. The president did not mention, according to Newsom, that he was going to deploy
the California National Guard. And now Gavin Newsom calling President Trump a stone-cold liar and saying that this morning he's going to file a lawsuit against the Trump administration for acts that he called immoral and unconstitutional, George.
And Matt, and President Johnson in 1965, when he did that, was actually moving in National Guard troops to protect civil rights protesters.